Boom shakalaka, after a nice healthy Bitcoin bounce, don't get too excited until we see how this plays out. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Brando here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including the nice healthy Bitcoin price bounce off the 100-day moving average and how this will likely play out in the near future. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, thank you so much. Now, today, fear and greed at 55, back into greed after a whole grueling week in neutral outside of greed. We survived it, thank goodness. The overall market up almost 4% today. Bitcoin at 41,570, Ethereum at 22.53, BNB at 302, Solana $90, XRP 52 cents, Cardano 47 cents, Avalanche $32, and Dogecoin 7 cents. And Bitcoin, after bouncing off of the 100-day moving average, right now was rejected from this long-term trend line right here and right about the level of the 50-day moving average, close to $42,000. Now, we are at some very critical levels for Bitcoin here, getting squeezed between the 50 and 100-day moving average. Now, not only that, but Bitcoin also, after breaking out of a falling wedge, found support right here on previous resistance. Could it be that we now have a change in trend, price headed up? Well, you'll definitely want to stay tuned for the answer for that. You see, it's not unlike we're overvalued for good reasons. At more than half a standard deviation from the short-term holder calls basis, the current reset is very healthy. As a matter of fact, we generally see this right before every halving at the price we are at. Generally goes sideways in this territory up until halving time, and people remember how truly scarce Bitcoin is. This could in fact be the last chance to accumulate before the halving. You can see 12 bars up to the halving pretty much goes sideways right after we have a pre-halving peak. We could have seen that pre-halving peak approaching $50,000. But we do have a nice descending channel breakout for Bitcoin, both of the price and also of the RSI trend line down on the bottom here. And the last time that Bitcoin did this, it should be noted, price almost doubled. It went from 26,000 to almost $50,000. Could we see the same thing, a doubling of price, 40,000 to almost $80,000? That would be exciting. But don't get your hopes up just yet. Bitcoin is making a small rebound from its drop to 38.5, now $42,000. Some people may be jumping the gun saying the bottom is in. You know who. But with 12 other examples, the weekly RSI is due to head to the orange, this level down here, right here. It's in between the resistance and support level. 12 examples where it heads down and finds support. Now that support zone is going to be in the low 30s for Bitcoin. We might be headed for a little bit more pain. It's possible. Especially when we take a look at this. Even though the TD sequential flashed a buy signal on the daily chart while Bitcoin maintains a position above the 100 SMA, an upward move past 40,550 may catalyze an upswing up to 43. But monitor the 100 SMA support level because a breach might lead price down to that $33,000 low. So like I was saying, very critical levels for Bitcoin getting squished between the 50 and 100-day moving averages. But the good news is, it's exceptionally unlikely that Bitcoin would go below $30,000. Based on the Bitcoin cost basis density map, we can see where these long horizontal lines that Willow has so graciously numbered with numbers. Well, we can see each time we have one of these, that's a new low. The most recent one, $30,000, meaning it unlikely that Bitcoin price would ever drop below those levels again. And another indicator, price might just be headed north or up or into the stratosphere, the moon, whatever you want to call it. Stablecoins are increasing. Supplies are only up for stablecoins. Generally, people buy stablecoins and then they buy a Bitcoin with it. So with stablecoin supplies increasing, could it be that we are going to see Bitcoin price increasing as well? This interesting chart right down here, I know it's kind of small, but the amount of spending by these older hands is statistically significant, resulting in a +1 standard deviation in revived supply. As we can see in the chart below, such events are relatively infrequent. However, they often align with uptrending markets, meaning meeting meaningful resistance. If we take a look at this, every time we have this green peak of revived supply, this has preceded a nice, healthy uptrend or a very sustained long-term uptrend. Now we're seeing a green tick right now, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, we might be due for another uptrend in Bitcoin price. We're about to break out from this sideways wedge where the 61.8 fib turns out to be the springboard. Price bounces back and forth until it gets squeezed, which again, we have a few more months before that squeeze occurs, and it will likely send the Bitcoin price rocketing up. We're in the pre-halving zone. Chaikin money flow has already flipped positive. Again, look in history. You can't predict the future from the history, but they say it rhymes. I'm not a poet, but you do you. Because we have the best part of the year coming up. Even though we made it through the bear market, I don't know how we did it, but we made it through the bear. We're into the early bull, and then comes everybody's favorite part, the Red Bull, or the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, that's what it's called. The Super Bowl market coming up this year, next year, whenever it happens. Can't wait for it. All up territory when everybody's FOMOing into Bitcoin. That's the best time for all of us. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.